I had pictured walking into the water hundreds of times. It seemed simple on the actual day. I was just walking into the water to swim. When I first came to Wānaka, I felt like I met all of the right people at the right time. I fell in love with open water swimming last summer, and being in this lake got me addicted to it immediately. My alarm went off at around 4:30 a.m. Leading up to the swim, I was really worried that I was going to be very inward. But then I woke up and I guess I realized the potential danger of the day, and all I wanted to do was celebrate.
Suit on so many times.
This is the day.
Just one more time.
The first hour felt like I was flying. There was no pain, no nerves. It just felt completely effortless. There's actually one moment of the swim that I haven't stopped thinking about, and it was in the second hour, and it was right when the light was cresting over the peaks, and it started off with God rays coming in from the peaks. Then finally the sun came up, and it was the first time that, I could feel the sun on my face and the warmth of the sun, and I was hysterically laughing. It was the first moment in the day that it had hit me that I was swimming the lake. And I was breathing, and I could see Aled and Christian and the boats, and I was like, so much has come into play to get here to this day. As the day went on, things definitely changed. I remember each hour very clearly, and the hours 3 to 5 had their own set of challenges mentally, knowing that I still had a really big day ahead of me and that I was still quite far away from halfway. And then hours 6 through 8, so much fun. That was going up to Moahu, and I knew that Moahu was a really big milestone, and it was just so fun. I feel like everyone on the boats was having a great time. I was having a great time, still feeling really good. I probably started knocking on the pain cave door around hour 6, hour 7. But I pictured holding like a rock axe, like a pickaxe. And I was like, right, okay, I'm gonna make this nice and cozy. And so I started building out my pain cave. I made it really big. And then on hour 7, I started decorating my pain cave. And so I had a king-size bed, or like an Alaskan king, and I had feather duvets covering the bed, and sheep furs everywhere, and really warm lighting in my pain cave. And I made it as comfortable as possible.
One thing that struck me is how even when you're in the pain cave, your capacity to smile and laugh and engage with us was strong.
I think it was my people, the way that my friends are able to reach me even in those spaces, and knowing that I wanted to have fun, and I wanted to be there, and I wanted it to be a celebration and not this awful thing that was happening to me. Thomas, how would you talk about the thing?
I think that you're bang on the money. You can decorate it however you want, and it's very personal of how you decorate it.
Well, Thomas was an instrumental part of the swim. Not only was he a training partner and a really good swimmer, way faster than I am, so to have somebody pushing my pace and writing some really tough practices too, but as my physio and having support in and out of the water as well was huge.
I think that initially when you're doing something and settling into something that you know is going to take a really, really long time, there's a bit of a desire to stay as comfy as possible for as long as possible. And it's nice to switch it up initially because it provides some breaks in those first 5 or 6 hours, but by the time you've been swimming freestyle for that long, things are absolutely cast, right? They're so set in that way that just about the only thing worse than doing the same thing would be to do something different and then come back to it. And that would just be horrible.
As I was going into Ely Point, I knew that there was people and I knew that there was something going on. That was a really crazy time. I was in more physical pain than I had been in my whole life. And it was knowing that every stroke I was taking was getting me a little bit closer to touching the sand. I had swum in Roy's Bay so many times, and I'd swum around Ely Point many times. And I reached all these landmarks that I had been before. You think about touching the sand for hours leading up to that point. And you wonder like what it's gonna feel like, if I was even gonna be able to stand. And then I hit the sand. And I started sobbing. It was everything all at once. It was relief from physical pain. Like, thank God I don't have to swim anymore. Joy, pride, love was like all consuming. I swam the lake for 3 main reasons. The first reason was for my lifelong dedication to the water. It was for this community and everything that the community's given to me, I wanted to give back to. And then for my future self, meaning if I could swim the lake, then I could do just about anything with my life. I get why people get addicted to this sort of stuff. I'll probably be chasing that feeling for the rest of my life.